Hello everyone, this is Dr. Ahsan Ali, and today I am feeling very much honored that I am speaking on behalf of this international conference, that is the fourth international conference on management research and economic development. So I am an associate professor at Lahore Business School, University of Lahore, Pakistan, and I just recently designed a proposal for the workshop as well. And previously, I'm also working with this prestigious forum. So it is a great pride for me. My research work, my expertise are concerned. So these are aligning with such kind of activities, and I'm highly grateful to the organizing committee that they always welcome me and provide me an opportunity to discuss my expertise, my experience, and that is why I am here to share with me the new concept, the new idea, the new discussion topic as a keynote speaker. So I am taking this an opportunity to open today's session. So as the title is basically is in front of you, that is a strategic management of human capital in contemporary organization. So basically, as the title is already depicting the main concept, the main idea that how strategic management of human capital is basically playing an important role while you are advocating, while you are discussing, or you are just taking this importance of human, the people who are actually working in the organizations, how they contributed, how they provide their expertise and opinions, because I personally believe that this is just because of the human resource that organizations are growing. When the employee is basically having some kind of expertise with him or her and putting his or her effort to the development of the organization, so then the organization definitely having you can say that a takeoff position. And then as far as the need of the era is concerned, right now we are in the age of AI, where every person need many kind of expertise. The traditional type of things are not sufficient in order for the development and the growth of the humans. So if humans are growing, humans are developing, then ultimately it will be aligned with the organizational development and organizational growth. So with this, I want to share with you that why human capital matters. So as we already aware about that, people as strategic assets, we can't deny with this statement that there are a lot of resources the organization are using, the machineries, raw material, the technology, the information. But as far as the main strategic asset is concerned, that is actually your human resource, your human capital that actually leads towards your distinctive competency, like your comparative advantage. Because when you are dealing with the humans and you are going to discuss in front of your competitors that we are having such kind of unique and expert humans with us, then it can be your comparative advantage. So there is nothing harm to claim that we are having the best resource, the best developed people with our organization. So it is our competitive advantage that we can say here that the Bernie 1991's Becker also just talked about that organization that treat implies as strategic assets achieve superior productivity. How? Because they are more innovative, because they are having a more financial performance, and the main root cause, or you can say that the antecedent of the financial performance and the growth, innovation of the organization is backed by your having an expert and best persons who are with you in the form of your humans or your people. So let's move on. What is human capital basically? Human capital is basically based upon your people that are having the skill, knowledge, experience, creativity, and the psychological strength. So now, how we can say that? Because the person who is mentally strong, the person who is having a creativity in his or her mind, the person is carrying the tacit knowledge. So it is actually multiplying. the impact of the overall organizational performance. Research consistently shows that organizations with a strong human capital achieve higher productivity, number one, better innovation, lower turnover, and the stronger financial performance. Why? Because when the humans are putting maximum efforts, then it ultimately will be helpful for getting higher productivity, innovation. Like because the people, one people is can work on the one aspect, and when two minds are taking care of some kind of certain issue or the problem, definitely, the impact of the synergy also contributed. 1 plus 1 equals 3. So it's a teamwork also, it's an individual resource that actually differentiate you among your competitors. Lower turnover, the satisfied implies if an organization is investing on the human capital, basically running a campaign that how you're going to hunt a talent management in your organization, how you actually manage your talent, because it is not a easy process when you are recruiting your resource in your organization and you're just not taking care of the growth of the persons. Then the persons are basically feeling some kind of reluctance that okay, fine, our career path is not here, and we need to find some another place where we can develop our personality, we can develop our career. So if an organization is investing on human capital, then definitely it put impact on the low turnover, right? Stronger financial performance, as I'm talked about earlier, that definitely the stronger financial performance is the back uh, thing that is actually we are taking from the satisfied implies, skillful implies, innovative implies, creative implies, and ultimate impact on the financial performance. As the research also just talking about that human capital consists of implies knowledge, skills, and abilities. Sorry, and the psychological resources that contribute to the organizational effectiveness. So it is according to the literature. Okay, linking strategy and the human resource management. Now we are just talking about the linkage of HRM and the strategy, which you're actually designing in order to perform your strategic human resource management, the strategic management concept. For example, we just talked about that the strategy is basically becomes effective when it directly supports the business strategy, because you need to create some kind of alignment. Your main motto, the motto that came from your vision, your mission, and you can going to define some kind of certain strategy. So this strategy must be aligning with all of your business operations. For example, if you're running some kind of SBOs, different kind of product lines, then it must be aligned with the top level, upper level of the organizational main school of thought. For instance, we can talk about if a company strategy is innovation, right? So it must recruit creative people, obviously, because you just talked about you are hiring, you are hunting or finding those persons. Those are having a creative mind, no traditional kind of things they are having, because your company is working on some kind of creativity like the interior decoration, some putting some kind of novel idea in the market, satisfying customers in a very different and the positive aspect. So it is basically the main requirement. If the strategy is a service excellence, right, the second scenario, it must train and empower frontline staff, because now your main goal or objective is to take care or is to just provide the best excellence in form of the service, because you're dealing in some kind of service activity, or you're just talking about that you are taking care of your customers. Then the persons who are actually your front line, the person who is actually dealing directly with the your customers, they must be trained, they must be fully proficient in order to perform better services to the customers. And the third, we can say that if the strategy is sustainability, it must develop the green skills and the ethical leadership. Like because you just talked about, for instance, the social responsibility, the sustainability, and any kind of things is particularly required, because your main goal is to provide the best sustainable services to the customers. So this alignment is called the strategic human resource management, your alignment with your main motto, main theme of the company. So you need to decide that okay, fine, This is our strategy, and based upon our strategy, such kind of human capital we are requiring. Next, we have psychological capital as strategic asset, right? As we talked about in the start of this session, that your human capital is basically your asset, right? So one of the most powerful modern concept in the human capital is psychological capital. That is also abbreviated or known as in the short form as psycap, right? So it consists basically of four main elements. Number one, hope. Hope is basically when beliefs are there that goals can be achieved. This is definitely, if I am not hopeful, if I am not expecting the things will be in my control or in my favorable, then definitely I cannot move on that path, right? Second one is the self efficacy. Confidence in your ability, in the person ability, that yes, we can do, yes, we can perform. Resilience is basically ability to bounce back from the difficulties. Definitely, when you are working hard to achieving such kind of goal, there are certain hurdles or barriers will come in front of you. So if the resilience factor is with you, then of course it can be provide a better opportunity that you can cross those hurdles. So based upon your psychological capital. Optimism, positive mind. So according to the different kind of scholars, they just talked about before launching, before introducing a new thing, new idea, you can take some kind of negative, not the mind is your negative, but the things that can be a risky one that can provide you some kind of failures. But once you decided that, okay, now we decide to move on, then you must be optimistic. You must be having a positive thoughts in your mind. There is no need that you just talked about, okay, this is a way we can just talked about, this will happen. So such kind of negativity if came in front of you, then you are not optimistic person. So researchers are just talking about self-efficacy, resilience, optimism is a critical strategic resource that improves employee motivation and the performance, right? So it is a researcher just talked about in 2015. Avolio is basically in 2007. So this is backing the main concept of psychological capital. Psychological capital continuation is basically implies with the high psychological capital perform better, because if you are having high hope in your mind, if you are optimistic person, if you just talked about you can achieve this, you are having a self efficacy with you, and you can provide some kind of having some kind of resilience. Okay, nothing if such negative things or if any kind of barriers will come in front of me, then I will take it as a challenge. I will convert it into an opportunity and I will avail that opportunity. So, the result of that, you become more motivated, handle stress more effectively, and you are basically more loyal to the organization. So in uncertain situations, uncertain environment, definitely most of the time you don't have a full information. So there are some kind of lack of information also. For example, the best example can we take post-pandemic workplaces where the things are totally changed. As far as the academia sector, because I am affiliated with an academic institute and I have an experience in different organized universities. So, in academic institutions, universities, in the pandemic time, the things were very kind of disturbing. We are not fully prepared because all things just happen on at one day that we are not expecting, and we are not having a good plan how to tackle that kind of situation. So that is just because of having a good human capital with you, you just can transform each and everything. And if you're having a psychological capital with you, then the hope will be there. Yes, we can take it as an opportunity, not as a threat. We can transform our academic system onto purely online mechanism. So such kind of things we basically are learning. And in the, you can say that the situation that are crisis situation, when the things come in front of you on a very shorter time period of time and you're not expecting, then the things will be difficult. But if you are having a psychological capital with you, a good humans, people are with you, then the things can be managed easily. Okay, leadership and the organization culture. The next thing we're going to talk about. Uh, as far as a good leader, as far as a person who are having a charismatic personality, are the person who is actually influencing their subordinate, can play a crucial role in human capital, right? Because leader is the only person that can influence how people feel. Because if as an employee, as an subordinate, as a follower, if I am feeling disturbed due to multiple reasons, maybe my personal, maybe my professional, and if the leader is there that actually observing me as an employee, that how right now I'm feeling, is there any kind of threat, a job insecurity, is there any kind of resistance I am feeling? So the it is a role of a leader to get involved and to just understand that what is happening in the organization, in the system, how they behave as far as the employee is concerned, as far as the person who is under the command of a good leader, a charismatic leader, they basically just thinking that how our employees are behaving, how they collaborate, the most important thing, how you're going to work among others. So modern research shows that leadership styles such as humble leadership, ethical leadership, sportive leadership significantly increases trust, psychological safety, and the performance. Because people are actually having such kind of trust on the leaders, on the boss, so it is very easy to cope up with such kind of difficulty or uncertain situations. Researchers just talked about that humble, sportive, and the other styles I just talked about, basically enhancing the trust, psychological safety, and the employee performance. And I'm going to take add on this statement that ultimately, if the your employee is performing, then your organization is performing. Right? It's a direct relationship. Okay, as a culture, organization culture is concerned, very important and very key aspect of any organization, because a clan or the people oriented culture encourages knowledge sharing, commitment, teamwork, and the learning. Why I'm just talking about these cultures? Because this is aligned with the creation of the psychological capital, of retaining your human capital. Because if the concept of knowledge sharing is there, the people are not hiding their expertise or their knowledge, then the other implies other person, other stakeholders also getting the benefit from that. The commitment towards the organization, commitment towards the work. Because if anything assigned to me, then what is my responsibility? My responsibility is fulfill my requirement, my task on time, in fact before time, just to evaluate myself that is it a fine work or is there is need to any kind of improvement. So before the deadline I can update my work, I can perform better. So teamwork and the learning is basically where in the start I just talked that when two persons, three persons are working together, two minds are actually having some kind of collaboration, then the concept of a synergy is there. When the greater effort becomes because of the multiple minds involved. That is why we can talk about that equation 1 plus 1 equals 3. It's mean if one person is working, then the effort is individual. And if the 2% or the 3% are working, then it means that the efforts are multiplying. And once I just going to stuck in some kind of problem that now what next, then the other person will help me out. So it is a concept of a synergical concept, and this must be in the teamwork. Learning, because you are learning from your colleagues, from your subordinates, from your seniors. So learning can be at any hierarchy level. That can be on the same level, from in fact from the lower level or from the upper level. So when employees feel respected and valued, they invest more energy in their work. This creates a cycle of high performance and organizational success. So very obvious thing that if you're just thinking that yes, you are satisfied, yes, your company is actually acknowledging your work, and you are putting your effort and you are getting reward and benefit from your employer, then you would feel okay, fine, this place is for me, and I'm going to take it as an opportunity that I'm going to invest on that organization based upon my expertise, my skills. I'm going to contribute. I'm just feeling that I'm owning this organization. So if this school of thought, if this feeling is with you, then it will multiply the organizational impact. And of course, the organization will get benefit if the organization will be successful or can become a situation where they can retain their employees. In fact, the human capital, the talent they actually recruited from diverse markets. So then the only thing is basically to retain those persons, to provide respect, to provide the opportunities that they can work and they can own their organization as their own. So, a clan culture and the people oriented culture promote knowledge sharing, teamwork, and employee commitment, learning, and leading to the higher organizational effectiveness. When you first learn and you are having a capability, then now you can transform your abilities to your subordinates, to your teams, to your group members. Then, of course, it becomes the more effective organization, because effectiveness is basically the tendency to achieve your goals. So if you are having a tendency to achieve your goals, it's mean you are capable, you are in a position that once you decide your goal, you will have to achieve the goal. So this is only happen when you are an effective person, and once you effective, then your organization becomes also effective one. So let's move on. Some challenges, contemporary, the present, the current challenges that organization can face while dealing with the human capital. That can be a hybrid and the remote work, because today organization face several kind of challenges. Once you just talked about, okay, uh, 2 days in person and 3 days online, right? Or remote work, you can move and you can work. So these are actually not challenges. Some sort of the name is challenge, but you can take it as an opportunity. If you're hiring or you're taking the employees, and your employees are more talented and they are having some kind of time limitations, then you can provide flexibility. So it becomes your opportunity, right? Talent strategies, you can take the shortage and unavailability of the employee in your circle, and definitely you can't hire the person who is not competent. So you need to hire the talent persons. If the shortage is there, then must be an effective strategy you can identify by taking on board the person who is beyond the borders. You can take on board the competent person, maybe online, maybe you can provide them an opportunity to remotely work, but it is a challenge. But you have to convert this challenge into an opportunity. Workforce stress and burnout, of course, it's a challenge, and it is the responsibility of the employer that burnout will not prevail in your company. You have to identify that how much responsibility you are providing to your employee. Equal responsibility. That doesn't mean that two persons are working, are having more assignments and the others are having less assignments due to favoritism or any kind of biasness. So this will not happen. So you need to identify and verify that the situation must be in your control. The bullying and the ostracism are very toxic things that can be the part of the organization in different organizations, because bullying can be from the senior person to the junior person, among the colleagues, in fact, from lower level as well. So bullying can be at any level, right? So need to understand service quality and the stronger organizational reputation. So very important concept is there. So finally, I'm going to conclude this session, and I'm very much honored and feeling very much grateful that I am sharing my own thoughts with the help of literature, with the help of the different studies